Welcome back, everyone, to the Archipelago. And I am here at the cattle area. And I have decided that this is going to be my new main base. And the reason for this is because I have finally set a goal for this series, and that is to create a reasonable witch farm. And I figure if I'm nice and close to the witch hut, I will be able to do that. Now, I have a few things I have to do before I could actually get started on this, and that is, of course, to get the various materials I need together for it. Now, this is going to be a relatively simple witch farm. It's not going to be one of those big, fully automated ones that it's going to be greatly efficient or anything like that. I think that will be a bit much. I'm just going to start on a fairly simple design to actually get the generation operating and work on that. So I want to get the basic procedures on this because I have a feeling that by the time I get finished with it and do everything I need to do for the farm and all that stuff, well, we may be getting near the time which knows we may be approaching 1.10 or something like that, and time for a new world. So therefore, that would be the goal. Now, if I manage to get that all done, and it looks like 1.10 is still a long way away, then perhaps I could then start to think about that guardian monument that we have been ignoring since I first built my initial area. But before I could start going around doing a witch farm, I'm going to have to start turning this into a fully operational base. Now, what I going to be needing in order to make the farm? Well, first off, I'll be needing plenty of glass. Well, at least sand is one thing that is not going to be in short supply. Good. Now, I still have a nice cactus growing area, so that's something that I have in my old area that I'm now able to easily be able to replicate, so that's not going to be any problem. I found some sugar cane. Yeah, you see there's some sugar cane over there. There's also some oak around here, but I'll probably be finding an orchard around there and growing that somewhere. I am going to have to create a cattle pen so I could keep my cattle together, and maybe that cow that I bred all so long ago will finally get around to growing up, because as you can see, that is several weeks ago since I actually, it looks like that calf has finally grown up. Okay, good. That took long, and probably because I've been here for the last couple of game days. All right, now let's see if I could start. Well, okay, not interested. Very well. Well, we'll have to worry about that later. But I am going to create a cattle pen. Oops. And I'm thinking that here would be a good place for that. We have this depression here, so I can easily jump over the fence, get inside, and get out on the matter. And I could say that we could put the end of the area there. So we could create a nice cattle pen there, reasonable size. And I also have to create a chicken coop. So let's see about some fences first. And see if I can remember how to make a fence. Alright, let's see. Yeah, okay, so we'll get some birch fences. Maybe a little bit more on there. Alright, there should be plenty of fences. And I also am going to be wanting to get... Okay, actually I prefer double gates lately because the... Well, what actually impressed me on the matter of double gates is due to the horses, since you can't do anything with horses through a single gate apparently. I was thinking then of creating a area for the cattle. How about here? Make sure I have enough I know I am going to have to, yeah, and perhaps turning this into my gate. Do I have any? No, of course I don't have an axe. Why should I go around carrying an axe? Actually, I think I had an axe and that yeah, oh, that's too tedious. Yeah, I will need it. Yeah, no, I think I used up my axe for other stuff on my way here. Alright, so, alright, there we go. And therefore we'll go into there. And of course I am going to have to fill in this along the wall side. Otherwise the cattle will just walk up, and that is, yeah, definitely not. Alright, so you get the idea on that matter. I need a little bit more on that side. Alright, maybe I should just create a huge number of them and be done with it. Let's see. Actually, do this side first, then do this side, and that way it's... always get those two mixed up. Alright. Alright, do it this way. Alright, that'll give me plenty. And leaving a nice odd number of those left. Actually, just throw those in for sticks for later. Okay, good. That gives me plenty, and then also gives me enough for a chicken coop later on, I hope. Because I am going to need one of those also. Because chickens will be something that I am going to be needing. Now, I say the cattle thing I'm doing first is because, let's face it, that is my entire reason for coming here in the first place was as a potential place for a leather farm. So therefore, getting the cattle to get... Now actually, the cattle in no way, as far as I know, is needed for a witch farm. But it may help me to do with setting up enchantments and all sorts of fun stuff like that, which is a good long-term thing to worry about. Alright, that's one down. I don't see any more here. I mean, really, coming up here where... if you're looking for food, you're not going to find it in the desert. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, you two get busy, and I could come here. Alright, repopulation. I guess that's for breeding cattle. Two of them, apparently, because that's the second time. Okay. Chickens. Ah, chickens! Yeah, we are going to... I am also, of course, going to have to find a nice place for a house. Let's see. Oh, that's just not going to work out. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, yeah, that doesn't need to go there. And that... Okay, now we can do that. And that means I can go a little bit further out on this. I am going to need a gate. Good. Alright, so let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. Well, you get the idea. I'm going to finish that up and get some chickens in there, maybe wrangle a couple more cattle in there, and start that going. And when that is all done, I will be back. I am back, and I've gotten a bit done since I last spoke with you. I've increased the cattle population by... Oh. experience orbs. I've increased the population of the cattle a bit, and don't think it won't be long before I could start getting some leather from that. And I've also rounded up a few chickens and got a few eggs here. Well, yes, that should be able to help me in order to keep it, and I think it won't be long before the chicken population is ridiculously out of control, because that seems to be what happens very often. I have chickens not only inside the pen filling it all up, but running all over the place and taking over. So I expect that to happen in no time flat. Now, I was thinking of building my main residence up on this hill, but first of all, it felt a little bit tight, and second, and even worse, I was thinking it was maybe a little bit too close to all the animal pens, especially when I start to get some sheep here, and all the sheep is way down in that direction. I'm slowly trying to coax it over, and it may take some time before I get it here. So I decided that perhaps this would be a good place for a warehouse. Now, if I want to do that, I should get a shovel. Do a bit, let's see. Let's make a cobble shovel. I think that will... No sticks? Well, I could easily get some sticks from that. Alright. So what I've been doing is making a warehouse. So I'm starting my work on that. I'll show you what's going on in there in a moment. Alright, so as we get a shovel here, because I'm going to need a better looking floor than grass, because grass is not exactly the most appropriate floor to have for a warehouse. Just doesn't seem to fit. Alright, so we'll be just taking care of all of that, and I'll be with you again once I get this all cleared up. And I am back, and the floor is now replaced with some acacia, so therefore oak walls, acacia floor. Dark oak is being used for the corner places. I might have a little bit more of that here and there. We'll see how that works. But I think that's a nice beginning on the matter. Now, I am going to have a bit to do. I figure that 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of double chests, then we could probably try putting... what are those things are called? The item frames. Yes, put item frames in order to put the items that we want on the side so that we can identify each of the chests. And I think that will work out. Now, fortunately, I only have 3 trapped chests right now, so that's why we have only 3 of these here. But I figured when I get a few more trapped chests, I could fill this in so I could have a row going... Oops, missed a spot. Missed a spot. Oh, yes, of course. I'm right now just dumping everything into here until I decide on an organization for this place. And... oh, there they are. Alright, yeah. Until I have the place organized and decide how I'm going to arrange things, I've just stuck everything. Most likely what I'll do is I'll make this wood. The other extreme will be stone. So I have one for each of the types of wood, then maybe one for each of the things that are created from that type of wood. That'll be stone, and what's in the middle I'll have to figure that out as I go along. Probably one for food stuff, thing for farming and the like, and then this could be for things derived from other items, things such as leather and stuff like that. So let's try that. Actually, maybe to make things unusual, let's say, how about this side for vegetable? So therefore we could go animal, mineral, double vegetable. This vegetable will be wood, and this will be all other vegetable projects. This will be minerals. That will be where we'll put the stone instead, and then the animal stuff here. And maybe I'll actually remember it for more than half a day. Now, other things that I've done is that while I was fishing in order to see if I could get some more traps, which I did not, I did get this bow here, which is decent there. Power 3, Unbreaking 3, Punch 1. That could be a decent bow, perhaps if I wind up running into someone like maybe a witch, since they may pop in here and there around here. Now, unfortunately, even though it has Unbreaking 1, it's pretty close to broken. It did not have mending, so that's not going to last me very long, so I have to make sure that I don't constantly use it. Otherwise, I'll have to replace this bow very quickly. I also grabbed the Lure 3 fishing pole that didn't have mending from my old location, and that way I could do some fishing over here, at least until this crazy thing breaks. And I brought plenty of saplings so that I could start planting stuff all over the place, so I will have plenty of trees to generate wood, because I'm going to need a great deal of wood, especially if I'm going to fill up this entire area here. So let's see. What do we call each of these areas? Because we have different types of wood. We have dark oak, oak, spruce. Not that I've seen any spruce. If I ever run into any spruce, I am definitely going to grab there. So let's reserve that for spruce. That means this would be oak. You know, I was thinking alphabetical order. So that means this could be acacia, birch, dark oak, oak. Yeah, okay. I'll come up with some. So I'm thinking that, yeah, to put the various types of woods here, then above that, things derived from it. Oh, that'll make things interesting. Right. And then here, we can then, between episodes, finish up this area. I'm going to have some lighting here, of course. Hopefully I can come up with some better lighting than a couple of torches. Now, in a pinch, I might be able to start making some jack-o'-lanterns and stick them in between on there. That may make things useful. And that is that. And I'll just have a great deal of time working on everything I need to do. And the main goal is to get enough resources so that I will be able to work on the witch hut over there. Now, let's see. Cobblestone. And I am going to have to do quite a bit of digging and mining and all that stuff all around here. And there are plenty of things to mine. Now, see if I can find those sheep and start to bring them over. It's going to be a little while before I'm going to be able to get sheep settled in here. That's going to be... Though I don't really need much in the way of wool in order to build a witch farm. Now, what I am going to need is glass. That's at least all the designs I have seen like to incorporate glass in some way. Oh well. I was just using up that shovel anyway. And let's see. Now this is... because I do need... Oh my! I didn't see that iron before. Oh yeah, I am just so out of tools. Yeah, I am going to have to get through here between episodes and see if I can find a safe way to get to that iron, because that... I need that coal too, because I need it for torches, I need it for fires and stuff like that. So plenty of stuff to do around here in order to get it set up. But now, where I was talking about concerning... I should make sure I want to make sure I don't get caught out at night, is concerning sheep. Because I do want to bring them around at some point. Like here's one. Here's one that I've been slowly trying to coax across. And I'm hoping that I could get them to come around and get closer and closer. I figure after a few days I might be able to get them to be close enough to my base where I can reliably build a fence and get them in. Now here is a pumpkin patch. I've harvested a couple of pumpkins from here and am planning on using some of those. If I ever need any vines, that could be useful for that. So I have all sorts of nice resources in the area. The biggest trouble I have right now is wool, because I am just so far from my sheep. I don't know why the chicken's following me. These chickens think, ooh, there must be seeds inside that grain. One of the troubles I have is, oh, I'm able to now see my base better now that I've started building it. I've been having trouble seeing where my target location is, because the only thing that really stood out was that witch's hut. It always threw me a little bit off. Alright, well, sort of playing tandem sheep now, because this sheep is once again interested. But now that I have the warehouse starting to be built, I'm able to see where I'm going, and that is always good, because getting lost is never, ever fun. Well, yeah. Alright, he's gone, and it is getting late, and time for me to rest. Well, that's it for today's episode, and between episodes I'm hoping to build this up a little bit. Maybe I can get those sheep all the way coaxed across, do some fishing, maybe get a tripwire hook or two, and be able to build a few more trap chests so I can start to fill that in. Okay. See, no wonder I've been getting lost all the time. I'm relative to that hut in a different place than I thought. Well, that's it for today's episode, and I'll see you again next time, where I hope to actually get this warehouse finished in the next episode of Piney Plays Minecraft Archipelago.